For decades, one aircraft has ruled the carrier deck. Not because it is the stealthiest, not because it is the fastest, but because it is the most versatile, most reliable, and most combat-proven carrier-based aircraft the United States Navy has ever put to sea. The F/A-18 Super Hornet. Today, Naval Air Dispatch breaks down exactly why this aircraft, first introduced in the late 1990s, remains the backbone of American carrier aviation and why it will continue flying from carrier decks well into the 2030s. To understand the Super Hornet, you first need to understand where it comes from. In the early 1990s, the U.S. Navy faced a problem. The A-6 Intruder, its primary deep strike aircraft, was aging out of service. The A-12 Avenger, designed to replace it, was canceled after catastrophic cost overruns. The Navy needed a solution, and it needed one fast. The answer was an evolution of the existing F/A-18 Hornet, itself already a proven platform. Boeing took the original Hornet design and fundamentally rebuilt it. The fuselage was stretched. The wings were enlarged by 25%. The engine inlets were redesigned. The fuel capacity was dramatically increased. The result was an aircraft that shared a name and a general shape with its predecessor, but was in reality 60% new by design. The F divided by a -18E single seat and F divided by a -18F two-seat Super Hornet entered fleet service in 1999. Within years, it had entirely replaced the F-14 Tomcat as the Navy's primary fighter and strike aircraft. It was not the fastest jet in the sky. It was not the most maneuverable, but it was reliable, maintainable, affordable, and it could do almost everything the Navy needed done from a carrier deck. Its combat radius, the distance it can travel, fight, and return, exceeds 400 nautical miles without aerial refueling. With tanker support, that range becomes effectively unlimited. It carries the M61 Vulcan 20mm cannon. It can carry the AIM-9X Sidewinder for close-range dogfighting, the AIM-120 AMRAAM for beyond visual range engagement, the AGM-84 Harpoon for anti-ship strikes, JDAM precision bombs, laser-guided munitions, and a wide array of electronic warfare systems integrated directly into the airframe. The EA-18G Growler is the electronic attack variant of the Super Hornet family. Where the E and F models are built to fight physically, the Growler fights electronically. Its mission is to suppress and destroy enemy air defense systems. It jams radar. It disrupts communications. It fires the AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile, a weapon that homes in on radar emissions and destroys the source. The Super Hornet was designed before stealth was a primary consideration in carrier aviation, and critics have pointed to this as its primary weakness, particularly as fifth-generation stealth aircraft like the F-35C enter service. The Navy's answer has been the Advanced Super Hornet Upgrade Program, a series of modifications that dramatically enhance the aircraft's survivability and capability in contested airspace. These upgrades include a distributed targeting processor network, a new computing architecture that increases the speed and accuracy of sensor fusion, an enhanced engine to increase thrust and reduce fuel consumption, enclosed weapon pods that reduce radar cross-section, and a new advanced cockpit system with a large area touchscreen display replacing older analog instruments. With these upgrades, the Super Hornet becomes what analysts call a fourth-and-a-half-generation aircraft, not a stealth jet, but far more capable and survivable than a conventional fourth-generation fighter. The Navy's strategy is clear. The F-35C will handle the most high-threat, stealth-required missions. The Super Hornet, cheaper to operate, easier to maintain, and available in vastly greater numbers, will handle everything else. This complementary approach means both aircraft are essential, and it means the Super Hornet's career is far from over. The Super Hornet's legacy is not built on specification sheets. It is built on combat. Since entering service, F/A-18 Super Hornets have flown thousands of combat sorties in Afghanistan and Iraq. They have conducted precision strikes against high-value targets. They have provided close air support to ground forces in contact with the enemy. They have flown combat air patrols over some of the world's most contested airspace. In every environment, in every mission set, the Super Hornet has performed. Naval aviators who have flown it in combat speak consistently about one quality above all others: reliability. When you launch from a carrier deck at 2 in the morning on a combat mission over hostile territory, you need to know your aircraft will not fail you. The Super Hornet has built that trust over 25 years of continuous operations. That trust, earned through decades of combat, is perhaps its most important qualification for continued service. The F/A-18 Super Hornet is not the newest jet on the carrier deck. It is not the most talked about, but it is, by every operational measure, the workhorse that keeps carrier aviation functioning at the scale and tempo the United States Navy demands. It is reliable. It is lethal. It is proven. And for the foreseeable future, it is not going anywhere. This has been Naval Air Dispatch. If you want to go deeper on carrier aviation, fighter aircraft, and the strategies behind American air and sea power, subscribe. And check the description for links to our previous episode on how a U.S. aircraft carrier really works. New dispatches every week.